Happy Monday, guten Tag, guten Morgen, was immer all right, so yeah, Monday, the 20th of October. My voice is a little cracky. Little bit of sinus infection went on this weekend. Oh my goodness. It seems like everybody's getting that now. Lack of vitamin D, need more sunlight. Changing of the seasons. It's chilly today. I got my sweatshirt on, still got the shorts and flip-flops. I'll be peeling this off as the sun rises in the sky. Takes a little bit longer for it to get up. So, I was looking at the crypto market a little bit over the weekend. We had that big wipeout. I mean, I can't believe how big that downwick was on that Friday, week ago Friday, 2 weeks this Friday. Huge, absolutely huge. It reminds me of what happened in March of 2020. That was the COVID scam wick. And this looks like the same thing. What happened at that point, historically, if you want to look at it, you had that massive downwick. Bitcoin went down to like $3,000, and then it continued to ramp up throughout the cycle and hit $69,000, I think, by the end of it. But what had happened is, that was March of 2020. I think it might have been March 13th. And everything dumped. Everything was just ridiculously on sale, but it was quick. And then it came back just like this one. So it's kind of a final clean out before everything started to ramp up. Get the feeling that's the same thing here. Now this may be protracted. The thing with timelines, or I should say the thing with, well, timelines and charts, they can be compressed, extended, but the energy's still there. It's just a matter of when it's released. So when that energy gets released over time, you know, it's not as dramatic. You might have double top type situations, or if it's released dramatically, kind of like 2017 at the end of the year, which this may be happening, within a period of 2 months, everything pumped, and then that was it. And then everything dumped. It could be a different situation. Hard to say. We'll see. Hindsight's 2020. We'll find out. However, the key point is we've had that, I think, big clean out to where the market's going to ramp up. Now it could go parabolic here between now and the end of the year. We've got a lot of external forces at work that could be the impetus for that, or at least the excuse for that. Or it could go like 2020, to where you had March 2020 really hitting that terrible bottom and sell off, and then by May of 2021, about 14 months later, the market's peaked. So if that's the case, I mean, see you next December, folks. But we'll see. But it'll be up only since then, or until then, I would think. The energy coming back into the market, and with governments getting involved in crypto and big money coming in, I can't imagine, you know, much downside risk at this point. I mean, yeah, you can have those little cleanouts like Litecoin, for instance. When you look at that 8-year chart of Litecoin, man, it is coming to an apex in the triangle, and that thing's gonna pop. When it pops, it looks like between now and the end of the year, it'll pop up. It could really run with all that pressure that's being built up. Think of it as, you know, those fans that you had to stoke the fire, you know, the accordion style blower fans, the manual ones. You know, it's kind of like a V, and when you press on it, the air comes out. That's kind of what's happening in the Litecoin chart and other charts too, to where once that pressure pushes out, it's gonna push that energy up, and you'll see those giant green candles. But I mean, just looking at the chart, it looks like between now and end of the year, a lot of potential to do that. Now it could extend until July 4th of next year too, depending upon how you view that chart. But I mean, I wouldn't be out of that position at this point. Absolutely not. And is there a chance it goes to 85 bucks here soon? Yeah, pretty good chance. Hey, Franny, it's my show, Franny. Stinker. She wants to hang out the window, but I'm not rolling down the window. So yeah, I mean, I would get ready. It's been a long haul, longer haul than for some of us. But yeah, that Litecoin chart looks really good. Massive compression. It could pop anytime. It could pop. And where does it go? Oh, man, who knows? Who knows? It'll hit that all-time high pretty quickly, I think, you know, around 400 bucks. And I don't think it stops there. There might be some consolidation, but 4-digit Litecoin, I don't see that as a problem. It's just a matter of how many, what's the digit on the front. So we'll see between, I don't time frame. I've given enough time frames. But yeah, now's the time to really, it's on sale. It's in a great position. Those people who have held for a long time and bought it from $50 to $100 to $150, $140. If you're entering it now, man, you're very fortunate. You haven't had to suffer and hold that and build that discipline. And you're going to think, wow, this is easy. You buy an $85, $90 Litecoin and the thing goes to, 360 and quadruples pretty quickly, $400. You're going to think, man, I'm so smart. Better to be lucky than good sometimes. So that's where we're at in that. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the metals markets. Again, it could go up. If you got $100 silver, that's signaling really bad things. Same with gold. It starts getting over $5,000. That's not a good thing. I mean, depends on your perspective. Not a good thing for the economy, the U.S. economy, or the U.S. Federal Reserve System, or whatever it may be. That it may be on its way out if it really starts doing that. But we'll see. I mean, I tend to think that, people that make a lot of profits in those things want to rotate it into something undervalued. And right now, excuse me, something like Litecoin is pretty undervalued. Digibyte way undervalued. Those are things that I would definitely be taking a look at, especially when you're rotating. You've done well in something. Say you're buying silver for $20 and you're up to, over $50. You over doubled. And that's not easy to do in precious metals. Can it keep going up? Yeah. I mean, could we see $600 silver? Yeah, but that just means the end of the financial system, and then that becomes another issue. What are you going to spend that silver on? You might be able to pick up some cheap property. The key question is what supply disruptions are we going to have? Because that will definitely be the issue. And what's the price for anything at that point? Again, it always comes down to the base energy is the most important thing. So make sure you've got your food, access to food, local connections, where you can get healthy food, local farmers to where you can get beef, pork, chicken, whatever, eggs, those kinds of things. I'm not being a doom and gloomer here. I'm just saying, it's important to have access to those things when you need them, because we've seen the toilet paper shortage, in COVID, the egg shortage, and the egg prices spiking, for a dozen eggs. You want to have those things because you use them all the time. And so it's best to, find a method to stock them or have them or be able to get them, and have those connections. If you're living in the city, you want to stock up probably as much as you can, because it mitigates the rising costs that may come. Because if you've got $600 silver, or even $100 silver, don't think that other things aren't going to go up as well, especially things you need. And some people may not want to even sell you those things that you need for any price, doesn't matter how much you have. So, take care of that stuff. I mean, the basics, the fundamentals. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go stock up on a few things. The weather's starting to get cooler. I got to wrap up some things around here, get tanks filled in the bar in case I have that winter meetup. I want to make sure, I've drained that out and then filled those tanks up. And, I'm prepared for that to handle people. So, yeah, stock up on some things I need, and don't quite need yet, but will need, some paper towels, maybe some toilet paper, some storable things, some goods that last a long time. I'm stocked up on meat pretty much. I mean, what I need. Speaking of meat, I got my hair cut. I posted a picture on X. I cut my own hair. I don't know. I didn't take any off the top really because I don't know how to do it right. I just kind of do the sides and try and blend it in the back. I mean, look at this. There's not much on the top left. I made the comment, I got more hair on my face than I do on my head. And then, it's white too, so it makes me look older. Oh, that's okay. Grow old gracefully with the knowledge that you have. It just shows that you hopefully have some wisdom, white-haired wisdom. I would hope that I've gained some wisdom. But, yeah, I cut my own hair. I mean, I could go pay to do it, but, I mean, I used to pay $3 to get a haircut from Barber Kenny up at the square. And then he passed away, and then somebody else took over. But it was like $3. you know, when I was in high school, junior high and high school. Walk up there, just you sit on the benches. It's kind of cool. One of those nostalgic things. Everybody comes in, they sit down on the big green vinyl benches, like 1950s style. And that's crazy because the 80s were only 30 years from the 50s, and now we're 40 years from the 80s. Man, oh man. I had that connection to the past then and didn't realize it. But yeah, all the old timers would come in. I'm looking at them like, you don't even need your haircut, man. You don't even have any hair. Kind of like I look at myself now. You don't have that much hair. Why are you getting it cut? But you'd sit down, and there wouldn't be an appointment. You'd sit down on these green vinyl benches with the chrome arms and, you know, big puffy things. Kind of like a diner bench, but bigger and green. And you'd sit there and everybody would know who's in line. You know, there's 3 people in there, and, you know, when that third person got up, you'd know that, oh, that's next. And he'd be next. And you just get up there and get your hair cut. And so, yeah, for $3. So my point is now it's $20 minimum, and that's cheap. You know, you make an appointment with somebody, it's probably $25, $30 now, because I haven't been back since COVID. Once that happened, and, you know, the gal that cut my hair, she says, oh, I can't cut any hair anymore because, you know, can't have anybody in the house and that kind of thing. And I just never went back. And so it's always been in-home hair care. So, yeah, I don't even know what it would be at this point to get my hair cut. And then if I got the beard trimmed, holy cow. Man, it'd be a $50 deal. Tip out the door. Give me a break. That's a half a Litecoin, baby. What you think? Or an ounce of silver. So, no, I don't do that anymore. And, you know, who am I trying to impress? I mean, honestly, you either love me for who I am or don't even bother showing up. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? You don't like the shorts and flip-flops? Too bad. In the crypto t-shirts and the rough beard and the semi-sculpted haircut. Yeah, right. Nothing like those marble sculptures that you see. Those are amazing things when you start looking at them. Like, how did people do that? Yeah. We got aliens showing up, what, in a couple of days, Cliff High says? I don't know. Maybe he said a couple of days. He said toward the end of October, that Atlas, 3-eye Atlas, whatever it is. You know, again, what difference at this point does it make? It may upset people's paradigms. Doesn't upset mine. I'm doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do today, and it is what it is. I encounter the things in my daily life and deal with them, and that's all you can do. That's all you can do. And just roll with it. So, yeah, take stock, get stocked, do those things that you definitely need to do. Have a store of sound money that will work. However, you know, it may not work. You know, the base energy is the food, you know, and that's what you need. So, you know, have those things. All right. It's a beautiful Monday. Going to be about 70 degrees, clear skies here. I have not seen any chemtrails, which is interesting. I'm still on the lookout for that. Some people said they have. Other people have said since the government shut down, they have not. Don't know. Government shut down and nobody noticed. What are we on day 20? I didn't notice. You know, so it's, how necessary is it? And maybe that's the point. It's really not that necessary. Govern yourself. You are sovereign. You are your own king. Act accordingly. All right. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. I've got a couple of interviews coming up here in the next month to 2 months by the end of the year. One is going to be with in the Litecoin community. I'll be talking about Litecoin and kind of my journey within cryptocurrency and what that means. And that kind of gets into a little spirituality and a little connection, bringing people together, that lighthouse thing. But the other one is going to be pretty much all woo-woo spirituality with somebody that is really cool person. Hopped in the spaces on Saturday, and it was a great conversation. Went really late, and I think it was, man, I don't even know what time it was. Close to 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Yeah, close to 4 a.m. we ended it. But it was a pretty good spaces, so I'm looking forward to hopping on her channel sometime here in the next, I don't know, a few weeks. And we'll go down rabbit holes, spiritual planes and realms and all kinds of things, and you'll see what Westwood has to think. But no, I think it'll be a really good conversation between the two of us. We have a lot of shared frequencies, you know, and thoughts. So looking forward to that. All right. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Trust yourself. Always trust yourself. You got all the answers, all the tools. You got the toolbox. Dust it off. Get those tools out and start using them, baby. Build your life. Manifest it. It's your path. You're born for a reason. You are here for a reason. Understand that. Reconnect with that. Know that. Return to that childlike innocence where everything was possible, because it is. All right. Have a wonderful day.